Hello, fellow teachers and educators. I'm here today to talk to you about phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Um, I am Jessica Stahl, and I'm currently studying my master's degree in early childhood education. So I hope you enjoy today's webinar. So first, we're going to talk about linguistics. Linguistics is key to um, each of these items I named already. What I think of when I think of linguistics, which is the study of language and all its parts, which you see on the screen, um, it is to me like like a baby. Like a baby is learning the sounds, learning how its body functions, all those things. So it starts off small, like in your speech sounds, moves to um, speaking words and then putting, those letters to words, words and letters to sounds, letters to words. And then you, um, you eventually start reading. So phonology is the first thing we're going to talk about today, which is the study of speech sounds and the systems of language, including rules, patterns by which phonemes are combined into words and phrases. So the example I have here on the screen is how children hear the sounds. So for like the word leg, they hear lag. So they don't write leg, they write lag. So part of this phonology is children are learning to um, put the correct letters and sounds together and learn these kinds of words like leg and ink and igloo that are tricky because their sounds don't match the way they spell. So we start this stage in early childhood, where kids are starting to learn rhyming, words, syllables, beginning sounds, ending sounds of words, and word blends. Morphology is the next thing we're going to talk about, but morphology is a study of the meaningful units of language and how they are combined in word formation. Um, When I think about this, I think about morphology as the broken down words into parts. So the broken down words help you decode, spell, and understand the meanings of words. The English language has many words that are similar spelled, for example, affect and effect. To understand morphology, it's better to know that it has two different categories. It has free and bound. Free are the words that can stand alone, and bound are the words that are combined with other morphemes. And so if you look at the picture on the slide, you can see example of base words and that are added together with other suffix or single words to make other words. And so it changes their meaning. For example, adding ing to fight, so you're fighting. Mighty to might, so you add might plus y. Um, so again, it changes the meaning of the word when you add other words on. The next thing we're going to talk about is syntax. Syntax is the rule system within a language that governs how speakers can combine and order words to make the coherent, meaningful sentence. So syntax is important for reading comprehension and writing because it is part of a common core state standard. The standards look at language proficiencies, accurate word per ID, meaning word meaning, ability to understand the sentence, and way it's organized. When teaching this to students, it is best to take a sentence apart to make sure they understand each part and then put it back together again. By doing this, you can you are helping to make them a stronger, more accurate reader. So as you see the picture here, the example is running is he fast very. So that sentence, because we know how, the English language works and the order of words. So it should say he is running very fast. And then again, store, I went to the. So again, we know that we need to say, I went to the store. So the next thing we're going to talk about is semantics. Semantics is a study of meaning of language. Um, to understand semantics, you must understand the nature of meaning at word level, sentence level, and in context. Comprehension is a big part of semantics. Looking at the picture on the side, you can see the word um, recognize language comprehension equals reading comprehension. The picture is called a simple rule of reading, meaning children need to have the words to comprehend the meaning. For example, a sentence like Mom called out, stop, as the children began to cross the street. Well, if we know the context, we know where they're at. They're on the corner, ready to start to cross the street. Um, Mom, um, and knowing the context and where they're at might mean um, that mom yelled, screamed, or shrieked, and the children learn vocabulary before they can speak it. A child is going to school has a low knowledge of words and meaning. Their ability to read is going to be low. In summary, semantics is the ability to decode words, know word meanings, their relations to other words, to be able to read accurately. As a teacher, it is important for you to teach vocabulary and using words in sentence. The next slide is pragmatics. Pragmatics is um, using understanding language and it goes beyond words. So there are many types of ways we can use language. The tone, the body language associated with the way someone is talking to you, the way words are used, the way they are spoken in another way. Excuse me. The way they are spoken is another way of language to be used. There's a skill set to language to know who and how to express language too. So the picture example here is the little boy or the dad is asking the little boy, "How much do you want to cut the grass?" Well, the little boy looks like he's enjoying the TV and says not much because he doesn't want to. The dad says, "I mean, how much money?" And the boy says, "I mean, I don't want to cut it much." So the dad wants him to cut it, is willing to pay him to cut it, but the boy isn't wanting to cut it, and he's interpreting the language and how the dad is asking. And then you see the baby say, "It's hard, hard language." So, like we have talked about, is the way you say it, body language, all that plays into big parts of language. So, as we wrap up today, here are some ideas of how you can support children's language and literacy development. I'm a big rhymer, so I like to do rhyming activities. Um, First, you start with easy rhyming families like the At family. And then an activity that I like to play is I have word cards with pictures on them, and I um, have a fun chant I like to say, and then I show them the cards. So the first couple of times I play this, I might be the only one holding cut the cards. So I would say, Riddle dee, can you make a rhyme with me? I have bat, you have, and then I would show another card. So I would show bat, and then I would show cat. And then after we did it that way a couple of times, I would distribute the cards and let the kids um, sing it along with me. So I would have all the cards, and then I would hold up bat. So I'd say riddle dee dee, can you make a rhyme with me? I have bat. And then I would sh also show cat, and I say, you have cat. And then if they had the cat picture, I'd ask them to hold it up. Another activity I like to do is letter sound recognition. So with letter cards, you can tape them around the room and have I like to do it on things that start with a letter. So D is for door and T is for table, S is for scissors, C is for clock. So those kinds of things. And then I would give the students a card, and say, go find the match, and then have them stay at that object so I could hear them say the words. And then I might, depending on the number of kids, because I don't want to have a lot of wait time, um, and depending on the number of kids, I would go to each kid and say, um, what letter do you have? Yes, D. What does D start with? Door. You're right. Um, and then I might ask more questions like, how do you know it's a door? Well, Miss Jessica, it's a rectangle. You're right. A door is a rectangle. And D starts with door. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation today, and I hope that you learned a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.